Ryan, it's Groundsweek, chance for sports to celebrate the work that groundskeepers do, both for volunteers and in the professional level. How important is it to celebrate that work?
Yeah, it's really important. It's an initiative started by the Grounds Management Association around 4 years ago, and it's something that's progressed into quite a widely seen thing now. Everybody's using the hashtag Groundsweek around, and it just gives people an insight into what people like myself and volunteer levels and different sports and things like that are getting up to on a day-to-day basis.
And important to particularly young people, to inspire them into a career in groundskeeping.
Yeah, I think that's the main aim. Yeah, it's a job that could be sort of seen as unforgiving and very time consuming and very difficult personally and things like that. So it's definitely a challenge. So if we can get people into that by showing them just what we do, that it is enjoyable, then I think that's a huge positive.
We see in the background Dan doing some work on the pitch there, opening up the soil profile with some rain coming. Rain has been a big issue across the Super League at the start of this season. We've seen a number of pitches that have suffered because of the wet conditions. Is that the biggest challenge at the moment?
It is, and this is obviously something I speak to you a lot about, Phil, and the management team and things like that. The rain, we've had such a wet few months, so sort of from the 1st of November we've had 500 mil of rain, which is a huge amount. It equates to 1.5 Olympic pools, and just under 18,000 wheelie bins as well, something that I read up on, and it causes issues because it's not just the volume that we've got as well, it's the timings. So we always seem to get heavy rain sort of 1 to 2 days before a game, or even the day of a game. So generally in a match day as well, if we've got heavy rain, people will see me walking about the place and stuff like that, making sure we're getting no holding water and things like that, because as you've said, we are opening up. But then what we try and do is in the lead up to a match day, because the opening up sort of decompacts the profile as well, we try and pack it all back in the best we can while leaving some holes open to allow us to get a firm, stable surface to play expansive rugby league on.
And is that something that's changed over the years? Obviously we're aware of the changing climate things. Are we getting wetter winters?
By the looks of it, yeah, certainly that's definitely a thing that we've seen with, it probably is climate change. It's definitely something that, looking back through the old diaries, especially over the last 4 to 5 years, we've had really wet ones. We haven't really had as much snow this year as we did last year. I mean, obviously last year we had a great deal of snow. It was Wakefield at home, wasn't it, mid-March. We had sort of a 1.5 foot that dropped then, and that was on the morning of the game. But barring that, there were no real great snowfall. But we're getting warmer summers as well. So the wetter winters can be sort of counteracted with the warmer summers, which allow us to be able to grow grass a lot quicker.
And whilst we're only a few games into season, just 3 home games, the pitch takes so much more hammer with training sessions and things because the need for the team to get onto grass surfaces.
Yeah, it's something that the coaching staff and Rowan in particular is very keen on training on grass surfaces and specific sort of dimensions of playing surface. So that's something that if me and my lads have to facilitate in doing that, that's what we have to do. That's our job at the end of the day, and it's certainly come with its challenges. I think we had an early pre-season, so it was the start of November. So we're at about the 36th youth today. So I think when anybody asks how I am, the first thing I say at the moment is we're ready for spring.
Yeah, and just finally, with it being Groundsweek, what would you say to encourage anyone who's thinking about getting a career in groundskeeping? What are the rewards that are available for it?
Oh, the rewards that are available. It's the unseen things. The feeling of achievement when you've worked a really hard week and you've produced a surface that may be at a stadium or a training ground or an external area where you look back and you think to yourself, I've achieved that and I've done that, and it's certainly not an easy profession to do or come into. And also another piece of advice I'd say is there's a lot of groundsmen out there, so if you're wanting to get involved within the industry, then reach out, whether that's through social media or email and things like that, and most groundsmen will be willing to have a conversation with you.